Hey everybody, Mark from Rams up here. I have Matt back for our week 2 NFL picks. You ready to go, Matt?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and as a follow-on to last week, we did not count that Thursday night game. In retrospect, if I knew Travis Kelsey was going to be out, I might have picked the Lions. So I'm just calling that a wash. And we went 10-5 last week. Not bad at all. Straight up money line picks. And just to take a quick look at the games this week, Eagles Vikings is in the book. That is the list, and we'll do the 49er Ram game last, of course. Okay, so now Matt has warned me he's going to go perhaps off the rails a little bit on this game, on this week 2 slate. So let's see, we already got that one, Eagles over the Vikings. And I did pick the Eagles over the Vikings in this one. I don't have the receipts, so I am going to take credit for that one. The Lions um, Chiefs game, I really didn't give it any thought. So let's go to the first one: Packers over Falcons. And to me, this is a tough game to pick. And I'm not sure where to go with it, to be honest with you. Jordan Love versus Desmond Ritter. You know what, Matt? Why don't you go first? I'm leaning towards the home team in this one. There's just a lot of unknowns in this one. How do you feel about this one?
I like the Packers. I think the Packers are the real deal. Week one, the Bears were my pick, and I still expect the Bears. I'm not going to overreact. I still expect the Bears to be good, but the Packers dominated that game, and the Falcons right now are favored by like a point and a half, and I think the wrong team is favored. Um, Desmond Ritter did not impress me in that week one performance. Obviously, the Falcons are good at running the ball, but the Packers were able to contain the Bears in week one, and I think they'll do the same in week two. And I like the Packers here.
Yeah, and the Packers always play good defense. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So okay, we'll roll with the Packers. Now the next game is Bills over Raiders. I'm taking the Bills over the Raiders in this one. Um, and I think the Bills are going to bounce back. The Raiders, I'm not sold on the Raiders. The Broncos, that was really, I wasn't impressed with either team really, and I don't think the Raiders or the Broncos are going anywhere. The Bills are going to bounce back. I think they're just a much better team. Josh Allen is kind of get his act together. How do you feel about that? You agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think Josh Allen is gonna come out and play pretty angry. I think he's probably pretty disappointed with this performance over the Jets, and I think it's kind of a unlucky schedule thing for the Raiders. You go week one at Denver, and week two you got to go play a Bills team who's probably pretty pissed off after how they played
Yeah,
against the Jets.
that's true. And the Raiders, the first place Raiders, by the way,
True.
and the rest of the division lost. Crazy. Yeah, I don't think that's going to last, though. What do we got next? I took the Ravens over the Bengals. This is another one. Flip a coin. The Bengals are going to be maybe a little bit hungrier, backed into a corner at home. The Ravens are the Ravens. They're very talented. Lamar Jackson, we all know what he can do. Divisional game. And the Bengals, if they go 0-2 in the division out of the gate, that's bad news for them. So I'm taking the Ravens, but I don't feel real strongly about this one.
I disagree with you here. I'm all over the Bengals this week. I think that Joe Burrow is going to have a bounce back game. I know the defense coordinator for the Bengals, Lou Amarudo, he's had success against the Ravens. And the Ravens, I know they ended up winning by double digits, but they didn't really impress me much in week one. I think that stadium is going to be rocking. I think that defense is going to be all over Lamar. And I would be surprised if the Bengals win big here.
Yeah, it sounds like you've done more homework than me. Okay, I'll flip that pick. We'll go with Bengals. And by the way, the games you had me flip last week, I think you split. Got one right, one wrong. Now, the next one, I feel like the Lions, again, the visiting team, the Seahawks are going to be extremely hungry, but that Lions team, I don't know if it matters the way that they're the vibe on that team. They play angry all the time, it seems like, under their coach. And the Seahawks, I mean, it was a big win for the Rams, but I don't think the Seahawks are nearly as good as a lot of people think. I heard people picking them to win the division, didn't see it. Thought the Seahawks didn't get enough love last year. They're getting way too much this year. I'm taking the Lions. How do you feel about this one?
This was actually the hardest game for me to pick this week. If you said Seahawks, I would have agreed. If you say Lions, I guess I can see it. This is one of those games that the point spread is what scares me. I think it's up to 6 now, Seahawks +6. And I think it's a little bit of overreaction from week one. Lions beat the Chiefs. Seahawks look terrible against the Rams. Now the Lions are favored by 6 in this game. If this game was week one, what would the point spread be? So I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks win this game. I'm staying away. But if you, I'll go with what you think. If you like the Lions, it's a coin
So,
flip.
so what you're saying is it's really good value if you're taking the points in the Seahawks.
Yeah, if I was in Vegas, I would be hammering Seahawks +6.
Okay, fair enough. I'll leave it at Lions over Seahawks. Let's see, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. Jared Goff against the Seahawks kind of reminded me of this. I saw at least two analysts reacting to the Rams win over the Seahawks, and they put an exclamation point on the fact that it was in Seattle. How could the Rams play so well in Seattle? And historically, the Rams are over 500 against the Seahawks in Seattle over their last 10 games, and one of the losses was an overtime loss. So people just don't pay attention. They just assume Rams at Seahawks. Oh, that's a tough draw for the Rams, and it's just not the case. But okay, I got that off my chest. Next game we got the hold on here. We got the Colts. I have the Colts over the Texans. And, the Texans stayed in that game against the Ravens and then things got away from them in the third quarter. Was that more a slow start by the Ravens or the Texans pretty good defensively? But Anthony Richardson, something special may be going on there. I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, this will be a fun game. The two rookie quarterbacks going at it. I was really impressed with the Colts. I know they ended up losing by double digits to the Jags, but they were in that game. Anthony Richardson looked good. And I think the Texans are going to struggle this year. So, yeah, I like the Colts, and I think the wrong team is favored in this game. Last I looked, the Texans were -1. But, yeah, I think the Colts are going to win. And so, yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So we'll stick with the Colts there. And this is a really important game. The Chiefs. Do you know, is Travis Kelsey on schedule to play? I'm not even sure.
I assume he's going to play, but I assume we also won't know until Sunday morning.
Yeah, that could be the deciding factor because the Chiefs, I don't know if it was just no Kelsey, but the Chiefs' offense did not look like their regular selves. And the Jags are a very good team. I discussed with you offline. I've seen the Jags rated as high as number 3 in some power polls. I have them just outside the top 10. I have respect for them, but on a normal Sunday afternoon, I'd pick the Chiefs. But this one, I'm still picking the Chiefs, but I think the Jags could pull off the upset. Who's favored? Are the Chiefs favored here?
Chiefs were favored by 3 points,
Uh,
and
but I'm taking the Chiefs. How do you feel about it?
I'm all over the Jags.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everyone is saying, Chiefs are not going to go 0-2. Chiefs aren't going to go 0-2. Come on, start the season. I think there's a good possibility the Jags win this outright. And if I'm getting 3 points, I'm absolutely taking the Jags. Um, Remember, the Chiefs actually ended the Jags season last year in the playoffs, and the Jags were in that game and easily could have won it as the game Mahomes got hurt, rolled his ankle. Um, I think that stadium is going to be rocking, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars won this game.
Okay, I will let you flip my pick then. You seem to have. That's why I bring you on. You have a lot of inside. I don't know if it's inside information, but relevant information. I don't do as much homework as
And
I should. That's
I,
why I bring
I,
you on.
I also I think there's the 80% of the bets are on the Chiefs so far to win this game in Vegas. So that's all I need to know. Give me the Jags.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Good enough. So I will switch that to the Jags, and I have the Bucks over the Bears. The Bears, man, they look pretty miserable, right? The Bucks surprised us. Baker Mayfield doing just enough. I don't know. This is one of those games where if it was the only game on TV, I might not watch. This is one of those games. But how do you feel about this one?
I actually like the Bears in this one. Um,
Man,
I
you
know
just can't.
we're gonna differ. I'm either gonna look like a genius or an idiot. But this is another one of those games, the overreaction, the week one overreactions. Bucks beat the Vikings. Bears look terrible. Now the Bucks are favored by 2.5. I think it was last I looked. If this game was week one, would that is that what the spread would be? Would the Bucks be favored? I think the Bears would be favored. I think this is a big bounce back spot for them. I expect Justin Fields to come out and hopefully reverse course and have a good game. And I think the Bears win this one.
You really are in Justin Fields' camp,
I am.
and,
So
and that's fine.
week one, it didn't look good, but
Yeah.
hopefully it's just 1 week.
Okay, next up, Commanders over the Broncos is the way I see this one. You know how I feel about Russell Wilson and that Commanders defense going to be all over him. Sean Payton may have some surprises though. Tough game to pick, really. Could go either way, but I'm going with the Commanders in this one.
Yeah, this one's tough. I actually have the Broncos in this one. I can see why you picked the Commanders, but I can't picture Sean Payton losing two in a row at home. Um, I think the Broncos bounce back. But yeah, this one's a coin flip. I'll go Broncos though.
Okay, I'll take the Broncos too. Then that's good. Yeah, this is one of those you could, yeah,
I will
uh,
not have this game on one of my TVs.
yeah, right, exactly. Um, let's see what else we got. And this is I got a lot of tough games to pick. The I have the Chargers over the Titans. I think the Chargers just, that Dolphin offense, they got them on the wrong day. Titans play really tough defense. But you're going to disagree with me, aren't you? I'm taking the Chargers.
I agree with you on this one, actually. I think Justin Herbert is going to have a big game. I know Eckler, there's a good chance he doesn't play, but I like Joshua Kelly. So I think the Chargers win this game. I could see the Titans pulling it off. But yeah, I'm with you on this one. I like the Chargers to bounce back.
Okay, we agree. That's the first one in a few that we've agreed on. And what do we have next? I have the Giants over the Cardinals. Both teams come in 0-1. Giants got shut out. The Cardinals, they kind of look like a miserable team. Give them credit for kind of hanging with the Commanders for a little bit. But I'm not impressed with the Giants, but I think they're the better team here, and I think they get the win.
Yeah, I actually love the Giants this week. I think they win big by double digits at least. I think Brian Dable's going to have them ready to go after their embarrassing Sunday night performance, and I expect them to come out hot. And the Cardinals did; they fought hard in Week 1, but we all kind of know what's going to happen with their season. So, yeah, I like the Giants big here.
Okay, and then the next game is going to be an interesting game, shall we say? First team to 3 wins, two two really good defenses. Zach Wilson versus Dak Prescott, and I don't think. Dak is in the top tier of quarterbacks. A lot of people think he is, but I don't think he is. He may really struggle against this Jets defense. I think both offenses will struggle. Obviously, the Jets are going to have trouble moving the ball, though they do have a good running attack. Got Brees Hall rolling, but I took the Cowboys in this one.
Yeah, both these defenses are so fun to watch. I'm with you. I just can't picture Zach Wilson doing much against this Cowboys defense. So I think it's low scoring. I think the Jets do kind of keep it close because I think their defense is the real deal. But Cowboys pull away.
Yeah, Cowboys are going to need a contribution from their offense this year, this week, unlike last week. What do we got next? I got the Saints over the Panthers. Saints are a team that right now might be the favorite to win that NFC South, in my view. Panthers haven't really shown much. They got the young quarterback. It's going to take him a little while. So I took the Saints in this one.
Yeah, I think that Saints defense kind of gets overlooked or not mentioned with those top tier teams, but I think they're right there. And going against the rookie quarterback, I think he may struggle here. And I expect the Saints defense to give him a bunch of different looks and confuse him. So I'm not very high on the Panthers this year, and I think the Saints win this one.
Okay, we agree on a few in a row here. And then the next one is a really big game in the NFC North. We have the Browns. I'm taking the Browns over the Steelers. Now, you pumped me up on the Browns last week, and I was all over the Steelers, and the Steelers threw a dud. Does Mike Tomlin and the Steelers threw two duds in a row? And I don't know, you seem to have a lot of respect for the Browns, and that kind of pushed me towards them in this game. They're probably the better team, right?
Yeah,
How do
that
you feel?
defense, that's another defense that is really good. Um, and I was kind of high on the Steelers this year too. They had a couple injuries in that Niner game, and I know they looked terrible. Cam Hayward is having surgery. Deontay Johnson's out. But I'm actually on the Steelers this week. These
What?
division, yeah, I know. I think the Browns are gonna make some noise this year and could make a deep run in the playoffs. But these division games, this is another one where point spread, there's something fishy about it. It's Browns are minus 2.5. So it's like, Browns just got to win by a field goal. Easy. They look so good in week one. Steelers were terrible against the Niners. It's fishy to me. So I'm on the Steelers in this one, and I think they pull off the small upset.
Okay. What do I do? What do I do? You steered me right on the Browns last week. Of course, we both picked the Steelers, but that was probably more because of who they were playing. So okay, we'll go with the Steelers on this one. Dolphins, Patriots, and Bill Belichick is gonna be prepared. If anyone can prepare for a high octane offense, it's Bill Belichick. But I just don't think he has the manpower, and I think the Dolphins win this one.
Yeah, this one is similar to the Browns and Steeler game to me. Division game, short spread. I think the Dolphins are favored by 2.5. Everyone sees that number. It's like, Dolphins just got to win by a field goal. I actually like the Patriots here. It's
To win outright?
to win outright. I think that Belichick, back-to-back home games, coming off a loss, I'm not betting against him. I know their offense wasn't impressive, but the Patriots have a really good defense. And if anyone can slow down Tyreek, I think it'll be Belichick, and I think the Patriots pull off the upset here.
Yeah, and I think the Dolphins gave up like 800 yards rushing to the Chargers as well. So the Patriots do have the opportunity to shorten the game if they can move the ball on the ground, and they got that big running back. So should I change this one? Okay, I'll go with you, Matt. I will change the. I thought this was a no-brainer, but I guess it isn't. We're taking the Dolphins over the Patriots.
You mean other way, right?
I'm sorry, Patriots. We're taking it's hard to say. It really is. We're taking the Patriots over the Dolphins. Okay, and finally the uh, suddenly interesting game. you know how I roll with the Rams and the Niners. Niners had the big regular season win streak. The Rams are a tough team to figure out. I think they're a tough team for defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators to figure out right now. They're a different Rams team, personnel wise, schematic wise. They're healthy. Their offensive line might be suddenly, dare I say, a top five offensive line. And I don't think I'm being a homer saying that. People don't get the Rams, what happened to them last year with their offensive line. It's a different beast with these guys up front playing well. 49ers, obviously, the roster is overall better than the Rams. There's no question about that. But I don't know. I think this will be a interesting, fun, fairly close game, and I'm hoping for just a big splash play by a defender or something really big happens on offense for the Rams, and they come away with a win. How do you feel about? Dare you pick against the Rams? What are you going to do?
Never. I'll be on here 17 weeks, and all 17 weeks I'm going to have the Rams.
Yeah,
Um, but I think they have a good shot in this game. I think, like you said, I think they're really hard to prepare for. I think Sean McVay's doing a lot of different things this year, and then having Tutu and Puka now. Hopefully, Puka plays. I assume he will. I just think they're a hard team to prepare for, and I think Raheem Morris is getting in a groove. You saw last week in Seattle what he did in the second half. So I think it's a feisty team, and I think they're going to try to confuse Brock Purdy. I was watching that Steeler Niner game, and man, the Niners have so many weapons. It's like they go to Brandon Ayuk one play, Christian McCaffrey, and then George Kittle, and then Debo, and then same on defense uh, with Greenlaw and Fred Warner. Those guys just fly all over the field. I know Greenlaw's a little banged up. But yeah, I think the Rams are going to keep this one close, and it's one of those games that whoever has the ball last uh, is going to win it. So yeah, I like
yeah. And we could be end up being highly disappointed. The 49ers could blow them out. You never know. But I think the 49ers do. I think the Rams defensive line matches up well against the 49er offensive line, so they can hopefully get some pressure on Brock Purdy. And this is a Rams team, I think, that is going to play loose. They're going to play loose, and they're going to have fun out there. And I think this is a team that has a great culture right now. And Raheem Morris, I don't know if you heard my most recent podcast, shared some data from someone, I think it was SB Nation writer, that the Rams went to some defensive alignments that they've rarely, if ever, used in the past. So it's going to be a fun game. Don't count this Ram team out. I think they really do have a shot, but they're playing with house money. If they come out of this game with a loss and they're 1-1 going into Cincinnati, I will feel really good about where this team is.
agreed.
Okay, so we got our week 2 picks. I will share them, and we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Last week 10-5. This week there's the picks for you, and hey, thanks a lot for joining me again. You flipped to some of my picks here, and this is one of those weeks where a lot of experts, and I'm not claiming us to be experts at all, but a lot of experts are going to have a bad week. I think it's going to be one of those weeks where, if you go 9-8, you probably did okay. Any last words?
That's all I got. Go Rams.
Okay, thanks a lot. We'll do this again next week out here, and have a great day, Matt.
See ya.
I went